On Monday, the Kansas City Chiefs and QB quarterback Patrick Mahomes have agreed to terms on a 10-year extension worth $503 million. He gets $477 million in guaranteed money and gets the ability to opt out at multiple points in the deal. Mahomes will also have a no trade clause. This makes Patrick Mahomes the highest paid sports player ever. He is the MVP and a reigning champ. But did Patrick Mahomes deserve this money?
Yes, I think he did. And frankly, I think he could have asked for even more, and the Chiefs would have given it to him. But let's wait for a minute. The real guaranteed amount is $140 million, which is the injury guarantee in case he gets injured throughout his career. But that's all that's guaranteed. And he has to earn the rest of the contract, which is $363 million. But I think he probably will earn it. I think he will earn it, but still, it's not guaranteed. And the 10-year deal allows the Chiefs to build the team around him for the foreseeable future. And he's an MVP, he's a Super Bowl champ, and he's 24 years old. And that's why I think he deserves this money.
Yeah, I think he's one of the top QBs right now, and he can be the best quarterback maybe in 5 or 6 years. He's, like you mentioned, he's only 24 years old. So in 10 years he'll be 34, which is he will still be a good player, and he'll be a little bit past his prime, but he will still be that player that we all see. He can still grow, because at 30 is when you're at your prime. So he has a lot of growing. He can grow a lot, and he can become that best quarterback that we are all envisioning. And even though he did take up almost a quarter of the cap space, I think the Chiefs are confident that they will be successful with all their weapons they have, like Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, and Travis Kelce. Those are all players that they think that they can keep for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Mentioning about all the weapons that he has, do you think that he has the best supporting cast around him compared to all the other NFL QBs?
I mean, yeah, he's probably like has the one of the best cores, like weapons that he has, because you look at the Buccaneers, they have a lot of weapons, and then the Chiefs may be right there with them. I think they're one of their top five teams that are the best teams, and I think they can go for the repeat this year and go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I believe that too. Do you think that this will hurt them, like in other aspects of their team, like defense? Because last time we checked, their defense wasn't really too good, but they did have many core pieces. But I don't know if they'll be able to keep those core pieces because of all the money that they spent on Patrick Mahomes. Do you think that'll be a concern?
I mean, I think this was a team effort, so I think the Chiefs realized that Patrick Mahomes took 1/4 of the salary cap, but I think that's all worth it, because I think the Chiefs think that they can be able to keep those pieces, even though they do want that money. I think they'll be able to keep them, and they can get draft picks to draft younger players and get them cheap, so that their defense can be good as well.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
All right. So many QBs are still young, and they'll be looking to get a big payday soon. So how does this affect future deals of the other young QBs?
Well, let's get this out of the way. Patrick Mahomes is in his own world when it comes to talent and his ability on the football field. And because of that, I think he'll be the only one to get paid this much out of all the QBs that need to get paid. And let's look at each of them. When you're thinking of all the other quarterbacks that need to get paid, you think of three of them: Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, and Dak Prescott. I think Lamar Jackson is going to get paid big money if he wins the Super Bowl this next year, but I don't think it'll be Mahomes' money. Mahomes is going to earn, if it's fully guaranteed, if he earns all of his money throughout the contract, he'll be earning $50 million a year. But I don't think Lamar Jackson is going to get that. I think he should expect to get money around $38 to $43 million a year, because the salary cap is always rising with more people watching football. Now, next person that you think of is Deshaun Watson. He really will get paid pretty handsomely, but I personally think that he's underrated. And because I think he's underrated, I also think that he'll be paid a little less than Lamar Jackson, which is around 34 to 38 million. And the last QB that we have to talk about is Dak Prescott. The Dak Prescott situation in Dallas really is a mess. And he was already asking for about 36 million a year before the Mahomes contract, and everyone knew that when the Mahomes contract came out, Dak would be asking for more. So I'm not surprised if he's asking for about 39 million per year now. And it's definitely a tough situation for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, but they put themselves into this position.
Yeah, I think this impacts many QBs, especially those QBs that you mentioned, those three QBs. And Dak Prescott was in his negotiations, and his contract, his asking price just went up by about 3 to 5 million, because if he was asking he's probably asking about in the high 30s, so about 36 to 40 million, and that just went up. And the longer that they wait, the more they have to pay Dak Prescott. So now I think it's a little bit too late to pay Dak, but it's they have to pay him as soon as possible. But for other QBs like Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson, those players are really good, but they're not anywhere near like Patrick Mahomes type money. Like you said, they're not worth $50 million, and I don't think it's worth the risk for these teams to pay them about 50 million. But for Lamar Jackson, I think he can get about 40 to 45 million, and for Deshaun Watson, he can get a little bit lower than that, maybe from anywhere near 38 to 42 million. Those are all great QBs who have to get paid soon. And with this Patrick Mahomes deal, I think that the asking price will go up for them and that they will get paid.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. But I think the reason Deshaun Watson won't get as much money as he's worth, like I said before, is because he's underrated. And I know a lot of people that are watching this are going to be like, Deshaun Watson's underrated? How? Well, let's take a look. When you're looking at the top three QBs, who would you say? Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Then it would be a mix of like Russell Wilson or someone else. But I don't think Deshaun Watson is in most people's top three, and I feel like that's a problem. Actually, I feel like he might be better than Lamar Jackson. He can't use his legs nearly as well, but he can make all the throws. He can't use his legs significantly well, not as good as Lamar Jackson, but he can still use them. And he's clutch. He brings his team wins, and he helps them through a lot of other aspects of the game. I think that because people don't rank him as one of the top QBs, even though they all know he's very good, I think that's why he'll get paid significantly less than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, also another factor for Deshaun Watson is that his weapons are not they don't know if they'll be able to keep their weapons long time. Like you just saw this summer, what was his name? The wide receiver,
DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins.
What
He
a
got traded.
terrible trade.
He got
Terrible
traded.
trade.
So I don't know if the Texans will be able to keep their weapons and pay Deshaun Watson as much as he wants.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Do you feel like the Houston Texans are actually a Super Bowl contender?
Not at this moment. Maybe if they get a good player soon in free agency or in through the draft. But this year, I don't think that they're legitimate Super Bowl contenders. I think there's other teams that could possibly beat them in the playoffs if they do make it there.